Sir Gordon Deal.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. Tonight's matchup features the Denver Nuggets versus your New York Knicks. The head coach of the Nuggets is Jeff Bzdelik, assisted by John McLeod, T.R. Dunn, Scott Brooks, Adrian Dantley, Chip Engelland, Jaron Akana, and Bill Branch. Athletic trainers are Jim Gillen and Eric Phillips. Now for the Nuggets starting lineup. At guard, 6'4" from Minnesota, number 1, Vashawn Leonard. At guard, 6'2" from Utah, number 24, Andre Miller. At forward, 6'8" from Syracuse, number 15, Carmelo Anthony. At forward, 6'11" from Brazil, number 31, Nene. At center, 6'11" from Massachusetts, number 23, Marcus Camby. And now for your New York Knicks. The head coach is Don Chaney, assisted by Brendan Malone, Lon Kruger, Herb Williams, Michael Malone, and Greg Brittenham. The athletic trainers are Mike Saunders and Saeed Hamdan. For your New York Knicks. At guard, 6'2" from Boston College, number 4, Howard Isley. At guard, 6'6" from Tennessee, number 20, Allen Houston. At forward, 6'10" from Utah, number 2, Keith Van Horn. At forward, 6'9" from Alabama, number 34, Antonio McDyess. At center, 7'2" from Georgetown, number 55, Dikembe Mutombo.
McDyess getting a nice ovation from the fans, and he's got to love the fact that he's back on the home floor because his first game as a Knick, remember how nervous he was, Clyde, in that game against the Pistons where he played just a little bit, but you could tell his nerves were rattling that night. And he's going to get an opportunity now that he's much more comfortable on the floor to play in front of the home fans.
Yeah, plus he's had some practice playing well on the road. So I'm sure he's looking to impress the home crowd with his play tonight.
And again, the reason he's in the starting lineup, Don Chaney was not going to start him until Kurt Thomas said that he can't go tonight. Thomas will miss his first game of the year, and this is his 6th season with the Knicks. And it's only the 5th game he's missed since he's been in New York. He had all those injury problems prior to coming to New York, but Thomas, a very durable player who's played through knee tendonitis all season long. It's been bothering him, but finally felt that it was sore enough where a night off would do him some good. So McDyess got the start. Now McDyess didn't practice yesterday because he had some soreness in his knee. That's to be expected after all the playing following the surgery and the rehab, but certainly not enough to keep him out of the lineup. Don Chaney said that he was going to wait maybe a game or two more before putting him in the starting lineup, but thought, okay, Thomas is out. Here's as good a time as any to put McDyess in, though he'll still keep him to about 25, 26 minutes.
It's very apropos because remember McDyess was traded for a couple of Nuggets, the guys on the Nuggets, so it's an interesting concept. Now Camby back tonight. Marcus Camby had a tremendous game last night in Philadelphia in the victory by the Nuggets. 16 points, 17 bounds for Marcus.
And again, the key for Camby, he's been healthy. He's played 21 of the 22 games. A lot of those faces he remembers was always something he did when he came in as a Knick, shook the hands with the scorers table, and looking forward to going back against his teammates. Meanwhile, that big ovation, Carmelo Anthony, what an ovation he received when his name was announced here at the Garden.
Yeah, Anthony, of course, played at Syracuse. A lot of fans coming out to support him tonight.
He's played here quite a bit in the Big East Championships and games against St. John's. Of course, he only played 1 year at college, so it wasn't that many games, but he's been on this floor before.
The Knicks dominated the Nuggets. They swept them last season. They won 4 of 6 at the Garden and 9 of the last 12 overall.
But this is a big stretch for the Knicks. They've lost 6 in a row and now playing at home. They need to get back in the win column and start getting back into the groove. Eddie F. Rush, the crew chief, with Bill Kennedy and Rodney Mott, the officials for tonight. Van Horn will guard Anthony. And Anthony again is the leading scorer. Shot clock already down to 5. Good defense from Van Horn. Leonard's been scoring well. That one doesn't go. McDyess lost it out of bounds. Camby touched it last, and it's going to be Nick Paul. Camby was a very popular player when he was with the Knicks. Played 4 years from '98 to '02. And again, when he's been healthy, he's a very good player. And that's been the problem. However, not the case this season, at least so far.
Nuggets are a good shot blocking team, so the Knicks have to watch it on the interior.
Mutombo, good feed from McDyess, and the Knicks get on the board first.
A nice post up by Mutombo, only 4 feet away in the paint.
Denver played last night. They won in Philadelphia against the Sixers. They've already won more road games this year than all of last year. Anthony felt he was fouled.
You always do. Something you have to blame when you put up an air ball.
He looked at the official, Rodney Mott. You know what I liked? He looked at him with a smile. It wasn't one of those mad faces like he wanted to yell at him. Just let him know that he thought there was a foul, but did it in a nice way. His demeanor that's been very impressive on the court. Mutombo already with 2 buckets.
Both they come in the paint about that time 3 feet away.
McDyess guarding Camby, the 2 players who were traded for each other. Of course, there were other players involved, like Nene for Denver, and Camby knocks it down. And Frank Williams, of course, for the Knicks. But those were the 2 main players of the deal. Knicks by 2.
Isley has been playing well the last 3 games. He's been very efficient in his style of play.
Isley doesn't turn the ball over that much. That's usually not a problem for him. What's been impressive, Clyde, is that he's taking the ball to the basket. He's getting in the paint. As is Dikembe Mutombo right now. And Mutombo can't connect on that one. Van Horn trying to keep it alive, but Miller comes away.
Mutombo being featured early on. So obviously the Knicks feel they can explore their weakness. So Mutombo made his first 2 shots, and that time with the hook shot.
The Nuggets are 5-6 on the road this season. Last year they were 4-37 on the road. Such improvement for this team. Nene and Mutombo got a piece of it. Van Horn releasing down the other end, and he was on the baseline.
You can see a lot of turnovers tonight, folks. Both teams averaging 17 turnovers a game. So the Nuggets will bring it up.
Allen Houston acknowledges that was his turnover, not Van Horn's. Good crowd on hand. They expect a sellout tonight. Nene going against Mutombo, and a foul on Dikembe Mutombo.
So Mutombo being featured on the offense for the Knicks, and now Nene for the Nuggets. So previously shot was blocked by Mutombo. This time he would not be denied as he spun along the baseline to draw the foul.
Mutombo, as per usual, arguing the call. So Nene will go to the line. In case you're wondering, if you haven't been up to date on Denver, last year his name was Nene Hilario, but he legally changed his name to Nene, which in Brazil, some of the big-time pro athletes do that. Reminder, tonight's New York Knicks High Definition broadcast presented by Panasonic, Ideas for Life. Did you ever think of having your name legally changed to Clyde?
Nope. We weren't doing that when we played.
So that's what he
like Pele, Nene. He has a way to go yet, though, before that name becomes that familiar.
Well, he's another good young player. Kiki Vandeweghe has built a nice young team here. And they're ahead of schedule, at least so far this season. Allen Houston on the floater and gets the roll. Houston again has missed the last 3 with that knee, but it's his first shot. They're going right to Nene early. Not a good shot. Good defense from Mutombo and a jump ball. Those 2 will jump it at the Nuggets free throw line circle. Mutombo thought it should have been a foul on Nene.
Let's take a look at Allen Houston. Missed the last 3 games. Right here in the paint, about 8 feet away. Nice touch on the shot.
Now, Houston hasn't played since last Friday, the game in Portland, so he's had a full week off to rest that knee. The battle for the board, and Anthony comes away with it. Carmelo Anthony. And that's one of the things they like about him. He's not just one of those guys that either takes it to the basket or shoots a three. He's got a very good mid-range game. In fact, he can score all different ways. He's a good post-up player, mid-range, three-pointer. He can take it to the basket, and he gets to the free throw line. That's a lot of different ways to score. And a foul is against Nene down the other end, over aggressive on his post defense.
Take a look at Melo. He's only a 38% shooter right now. That time just inside of the arc, switching that one.
Houston, nice feed to Van Horn, who wasn't expecting it at first, and Anthony with the block. 3-on-2 the other way for the Nuggets. Miller. Poor transition defense as Miller beat the Knicks down the floor.
Miller wheeling and dealing that time, so he's a rejuvenated player, folks. Mediocre season last year with the Clippers, but revitalized now with the Nuggets.
Isley makes him pay down the other end. Knicks up by 1, 4 minutes into it.
Alley-oop time. Good job by Mutombo. Oh, could have been a foul. Heard a lot of slapping on the hand that time.
Up-tempo game in the early going as McDyess able to knock it down. The Nuggets like to score. They're a team in their last 9 games averaging 105 points per game.
That's when they're good. When they're bad, they only average around 90 points a game.
Camby. McDyess went for the steal, and Camby made him pay. But Denver off to their best start in 14 years. I mean, for them to be 6 games over 500, to be 14-8. Van Horn can't hit. Camby trying to track it down, and does.
Camby, their leading rebounder with 9 per game.
McDyess with the tip. And you're going to start to see something, Clyde. McDyess is a very good defensive player. As Isley caught napping. Carmelo Anthony. And again, Mutombo altering the shot.
Anthony didn't see Mutombo standing there.
Howard Isley now 2 for 2 from the field. And the Knicks up by 3.
So that was one time it paid off. Mutombo not coming back into the front court, so able to deny Anthony on that basket.
Van Horn trying to force some baseline, but Anthony using a nice pick. Van Horn the rebound. Van Horn averaging just over 7 boards a game.
McDyess wants it. He's open. Isley sometimes hold the ball too long.
Van Horn. Anthony from behind.
It shows you the savvy of this young rookie.
Leonard to Anthony.
And the agility of Anthony filling the lane is 6'8", 230 pounds.
He's not, wouldn't call, he's not ready for an all-NBA defensive selection yet, but as a lot of the coaching staff and his teammates say, that Carmelo Anthony is the type of guy he's working at his defense. As McDyess knocks down another, he's 2 for 2. 4 points, 2 assists for McDyess. Knicks up 3 as we're midway through the first. A good pace to this one. We've seen the Knicks when they've played the up-tempo. It's been some of their best games. McDyess altered that shot.
Now the alley-oop to McDyess in the paint.
Nice catch. Get underneath, but Van Horn right there. And the Knicks with their largest lead in the early going.
And the Nuggets being exploited in the paint. Early on it was Mutombo, and that time 6'10" Van Horn.
This is the end of a 3-game East Coast swing for the Denver Nuggets. They lost to Atlanta and then beat Philly last night, as mentioned.
See, Anthony has a good look on the interior.
And a foul. Mutombo blocked it, but he's also whistled for the foul, and Carmelo Anthony will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, but the Knicks are thriving early on, so they're playing very well, looking to get out in transition. McDyess with the alley-oop, misfires, but Van Horn is the beneficiary with the good stuff.
Carmelo Anthony heading to the free throw line. He has been a terrific player so far for Denver. And Kiki Vandeweghe, the man who drafted him, who talked with Al Trautler earlier today, talked about what makes Carmelo Anthony special.
Well, you know, the interesting thing about Carmelo, he's a little bit better than you think in just about everything, and that goes rebounding, shooting. He's a little stronger than you think. He's a little more athletic than you think. He's kind of a throwback player to the time of Alex English and Bernard King and James Worthy, just to name a few, where they may not be spectacular, but you know, you look up at the end of the night, they have 25 points and 10 rebounds, and I think he's going to be that type of guy.
Yeah, he's not overly flashy, but he just gets the job done. And in talking to a number of his teammates before the game, Clyde, and some of the coaching staff, they all say the #1 thing is his composure. He doesn't get rattled even when he's going through bad stretches where he feels there's a bad call against him. He has a very good professional temperament on the court. McDyess comes up short that time. He wanted a foul.
There's Anthony running the lane now for the stop. And that's what he does. He's relentless in transition. Carmelo Anthony.
Knicks lead cut to 2. Just over 4.5 remaining here in this first.
Houston pulverized the Nuggets last season. Allen had 37 points one game, 27 another, but yet to get involved.
A nice feed from McDyess. Antonio McDyess already with 3 assists, and the Knicks back up by 4.
Mutombo with 3 hoops, all coming in the paint. That time with a ferocious stuff.
Establishing as Leonard beats Allen Houston backdoor. That caught on a pick.
Yeah, no one saw the ball. Leonard sneaking along the baseline with the reverse hoop off the glass.
Leonard's first field goal. Knicks shooting 60%, and the Nuggets 47%. Allen Houston. Canby tips it out, and here comes Miller. Miller, who played last year with the LA Clippers, said it was the worst basketball experience he's had. Canby misfires, and Mutombo loses it, and right there to pick it up is Isley.
Houston on the baseline. They're doing a good job not letting Allen see any uncontested shots, but now he has a mismatch.
Nice drive from Houston, can't finish it. McDyess tips it right to the Nuggets, and again numbers down the other way. They like to push the ball. Leonard spotting up for 3, and Rashawn Leonard puts the Nuggets up by 1.
So that time you saw Anthony and the composure Mike was alluding to, finding Leonard downtown, one of their better 3-point shooters.
Houston will be a little rusty in the early going after missing a full week.
Plus Leonard doing a good job hounding Houston, not allowing him to get the ball that time.
McDyess, good hard drive. Mutombo trying to keep it alive, and a loose ball foul against Nene.
Mutombo creating havoc now in the paint. So he has 3 baskets, and this time keeping it alive. Let's take a look at McDyess, a former Nugget. See the agility, facing up, baseline. Nice play, Mutombo there. There's the foul, so the Knicks will have it when we return.
Fans come to watch the Knicks at the Garden tomorrow night at 7 when they take on the Washington Wizards. Now coached by Eddie Jordan. For tickets, log on to NewYorkKnicks.com or call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS. One team, one New York. The New York Knicks, who trailed the Nuggets by 1. Although Antonio McDyess, who got his first start, off to a good start. He's got 4 points and 3 assists. Mike Saunders checking with him now.
And those assists have gone to Mutombo in the paint. So that time when you saw the good effort by Mutombo to get the foul, the Knicks have it along the side.
Shandon Anderson comes in. Anderson, who has been so solid as a starter, see if he can have the same effectiveness off the bench, and he got fouled. Isley and Anderson have been working well together last several games, as Chris Anderson just in the game. So 2 free throws from Anderson, from Shandon Anderson, as Chris Anderson picks up the first personal.
Shandon averaging 8 points, 2 rebounds.
Knicks need to get to the free throw line tonight because the Nuggets will certainly get there. Nuggets number 2 in the NBA in free throws attempted per game, behind the Lakers. They average almost 30 a game.
They're also the best offensive rebounding team. The Knicks have done a good job denying them second opportunities.
Game is tied, and here he is. Earl Boykins in the game. He's been very effective for them. Boykins able to knock it down. A 5'5" kid from Eastern Michigan. Of course, last year was with Golden State. It's amazing how he bounces around, and no matter where he goes, he has an impact. He's a good defender, very fast, can shoot from the outside. Van Horn. Keith Van Horn with his second field goal.
See, the Nuggets are pushing it up right away. They're in the front court. Kings misfiring on that one.
One thing about Boykins, he is not shy about shooting the ball.
He knows why he's out there.
Allen Houston can't connect. Houston just 1 of 5 in his first game back. Game all tied up, just under 2 minutes remaining here in the first. Pace has slowed down a little bit after that A very quick start.
Defense has not been a priority. A lot of shots available out there. There's one for Boykin again.
Leonard finding Boykins, and Mutombo lost it. Anderson out hustling the other Anderson for it. Nice feed from Allen Houston. Keith Van Horn on the second effort.
Second time we've seen Keith asserting himself on the glass. First time he got a dunk. This time hooping off the glass.
Good balanced scoring for the Knicks. All 6 who have played have scored. Boykins trying to get something going with Camby. Good defense from Isley.
Melo downtown.
And Camby comes flying in. Leonard and Allen Houston certainly had their share of battles, and Anthony takes it away from Dikembe Mutombo and then draws the foul. That's what, hearing Kiki Vandeweghe talk earlier about Anthony, he's stronger than you think. He's a little quicker than you think. That time showing his strength by able to get that rebound away from Mutombo.
Yeah, boxing out is a lost art. You see guys just standing there. That allowed Anthony to come in. There's a reach by Keith. So Melo to shoot 2. We mentioned their prowess on the offensive glass, the best in the league, averaging 15 offensive bounds.
It's the free throw. Mutombo will sit down. Mutombo has 2 fouls. Charlie Ward comes in, as does Michael Doliak. John Barry comes in for the Nuggets. Anthony is one of the key guys in getting to the free throw line. For a rookie, he's 11th in the league in free throws attempted. That's pretty impressive for a rookie.
His whole game is impressive, man. Just think he played 1 year of college. And it's really not this easy, folks, to make the transition from college to the pros, even if you play 4 seasons.
And as Kiki Vandeweghe said in that interview, Anderson fouls Van Horn. It's not flashy. He's not out there trying to impress people. He's out there trying to make plays to help his team win. And that's what Vandeweghe really liked about him. And that's where Vandeweghe was very pleased that the Pistons drafted Darko Milicic. But the Pistons had a different need. We'll see if it's one of those decisions that you say years later, like the Michael Jordan going 3rd after Sam Bowie, did they make the wrong pick? They're both going to be good players. Anthony gets a breather. Ryan Bowen checks in for the first time. Denver's bench has been a key part. Van Horn misses both of them. Van Horn, a very good free throw shooter. Look at Boykins push the ball.
And obviously their bench will be illuminated tonight because the Nuggets played last night. So it's up to the bench to try to hold down the fort.
Camby, wild drive, but he draws the contact and the foul. As Keith Van Horn picks up his second, and Marcus Camby will shoot 2.
Camby opened the game making his first 2 shots, and then he misfired on his next 2. But Knicks fans are obviously very familiar with this man and his agility and creativity, as they saw that time as he manipulated in the paint to get to the line.
Camby hits the first. Let's take a look at the American Express Midwest Division standings. Shocking, but there they are atop the division. The surprise team of the NBA. Every team in that division over 500. As Camby hits a pair, Knicks down 2, half minute to play in the opening period. Knicks have outshot the Nuggets and have done a good job not turning it over. Van Horn, quick move, didn't finish, and Anderson the rebound. Anderson, one of those energy guys.
Also a good shot blocker. Anderson at 6'9".
He's 9th in the league. Shot clock turned off. Final possession of the period.
Got to keep Watkins out of the paint.
Several head fakes and puts it in at the buzzer. Count it. The officials rule it good on the floor. Of course, they have to review it because anytime a basket is hit with 0-0-0 on the clock, they've got to check it on the replay. But the signal on the floor was good, and it appeared Boykins let it go before the buzzer. 3 head fakes, and that one clearly good for Earl Boykins as the Denver Nuggets get some good energy from Boykins off the bench. First quarter complete here at Madison Square Garden. Knicks trail the Nuggets by 2. New York Knicks basketball brought to you in part by Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest. By Panasonic, ideas for life. And by the Chrysler Crossfire, dreamed in America, crafted in Germany. Knicks down by 4 as they officially count Earl Boykins basket to end the quarter, and this one, despite the replay, clearly shows that Boykins gets it off in time. Watch the red around the bucket. Left his hand, and Boykins hits his second field goal. In that first quarter, Nuggets shoot 43% and the Knicks 46. You know what his bench pressing, Clyde? And here's a guy who's 5'5", 133 pounds. He can now bench press up to 325 pounds. That's amazing. Now you're looking at me like you don't believe it.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Doliak hits it.
Only because it makes me look bad. I work out 5 days a week and I can't do that.
Boykins, Barry, Chris Anderson, Nicholas Skeetishvili in the game, and Ryan Bowen. 5 bench players out there now for the Denver Nuggets.
Good swarming Knick defense forcing a timeout.
And they have to call time. 5 bench players for the Knicks as well, with Frank Williams and Charlie Ward, Weatherspoon, Anderson, and Doliak. A 20-second timeout called by Jeff Bezdelik.
Knicks obviously have a better bench, and now the Knicks bench must assert itself to try to get a lead here.
So Don Chaney talks it over with his troops, and there's Bezdelik in his second year as a head coach. He spent 12 years as an assistant coach in the NBA, back when they were the Washington Bullets, was with the Knicks under Pat Riley, both in New York and in Miami. But he did a lot of scouting. He was the director of scouting. He was an advanced scout, and the advanced scout is one of the unsung heroes of every organization. What they do is they'll go and scout the 3 opposing opponents. Say the Knicks, like they have Golden State coming up, and they've got Washington. They'll go out and see Washington, Golden State play ahead of time and give scouting reports on those teams. They're very important to the organization. They're on the road all the time. It's tough travel, but they're so important to what a team's able to do. Shot clock winding down. Boykins, good defense from Michael Doliak, and a 24-second violation.
That time a defensive clinic by the Knicks, double teaming them to force the timeout, and that time hounding them into the shot clock violation.
So 10 non-starters on the floor right now. Knicks led by as many as 5 in that first. A key number for the Knicks, only 2 turnovers in the opening period. That's what Don Chaney said was the #1 thing they had to work on from that road trip. Weatherspoon. Williams. Skeetishvili, good defense on Frank Williams. Weatherspoon, a good weak side rebound and the pass.
And the Knicks continue to thrive in the paint. Doliak with the sweet stuff.
Barry tries to save it, and he does. Skeetishvili's got a good touch.
Yeah, he's a 7-footer. So that time again, Boykins providing the impetus coming up with the loose ball.
Knicks down by 2. The Knicks front court has 5 assists in the game already, 3 of them from McDyess. But the big guy's doing a good job finding the open man.
Don't stop your dribble so you can find someone to pass to. Nuggets doing a good job of swarming to the ball.
Shandon Anderson off the dribble.
That play indicative of Anderson's play once he gets in the game, really perfecting that mid-range jumper.
Anderson has been so effective, as we said, as a starter. He needs to keep that. There's a reach-in foul there. He needs to keep the same type of aggressiveness when he comes off the bench. That time too aggressive on the defense as he picks up his first foul.
Both defenses very active, swarming, double teaming the ball. So good effort by the second units of both teams.
John Barry, a nice pickup. Last year was with the Pistons. He's been a valuable role player for a lot of good teams. Anderson. The clock is not moving. It still says 10:06, and surprisingly, the officials haven't spotted it yet. This has been going on for about 15-20 seconds. Now it goes. Usually the officials are right on top of that. Might not have been 15-20 seconds, but it was over 5. As Doliak, good offensive foul, and that's a loose ball foul against the Denver Nuggets. It goes against Barry.
Good offensive bounding now by the Knicks. Previously, Spoon found Doliak with the dunk. This time the Knicks keep it alive as they will have it along the side.
That's in the runway going to the locker rooms. Antonio McDyess to stay fresh with Greg Brittenham, the Knicks strength and conditioning coach, on the right.
Mike, I often wonder how good I would have been if we had all these advantages.
I think you would have been worse. And Anderson on the pull-up. It's certainly a different game, Clyde, in terms of what's available for today's player.
Yep, strength coaches, you can talk to shrinks when your jumper's not going.
Still Denver ball, 15 on the shot clock.
Adrenaline filled first quarter. Now chagrin filled second quarter. The crowd kind of losing interest in the play.
Barry on double team. Good defense from the Knicks. Charlie Ward comes up with a steal. Ward goes right at Anderson. Nice block from Anderson to Frank Williams with the good hustle.
Anderson averaging 2 a game among the leaders at 6'9". But again, the Knicks hustle rewarding them with the hoop.
Now you want to talk about what's available to players. Kiki Vandeweghe has instituted a number of new things. As Nene trying to go at Michael Doliak, banging, and a whistle. Is there going to be an offensive foul? Yes. Very demonstrative call from Bill Kennedy. And an offensive foul on Nene. That's his third.
Nene has been foul prone throughout his career. See right there, the elbow. He hooked him as he spun around with the elbow.
That's a good call.
The Knicks swarming defense. Ward, a good sleight of hand right there. But watch Anderson at 6'9", folks. Good timing. And Frank Williams hustling back the recipient.
Here's some of the things that the Nuggets have. They have a full-time masseuse. They also offer players access to a running coach and an instructor in martial arts. As that shot doesn't go, rebounded by Camby. And also somebody who can help them with yoga.
Oh, I could have done it.
Boykins.
The Knicks should get that. I could help them with yoga.
Bowen looked like he traveled. And Boykins will set it up again with 7 on the shot clock. But those are the type of things that the players have now that they certainly didn't back when you were playing, Clyde. Boykins, that's not a good shot. But the Knicks will come the other way. Game tied with 3.5 gone by here in the second. Boykins creating havoc. Some of it good and some of it bad for the Nuggets.
Williams has to look for a shot. There it is. He waited too late. He turned down a couple.
Weatherspoon battling, but Anderson comes away. Chris Anderson already 6 rebounds in 7 minutes. That's what he's out there for.
Nuggets reluctant to shoot now. Look at the pass and then they throw it away.
Nuggets turn it over for the 5th time. And we'll take a timeout. And Tony McDyess, while he's on the bench, is on the mic trying to stay loose. Nuggets and Knicks all tied here in the second. Anheuser-Busch salutes parents who talk to their kids about drinking. We all make a difference. Plenty of children on hand on this Saturday night at Madison Square Garden. And fans, the brand new Madison Square Garden store open at the Manhattan Mall on 6th Avenue. Holiday season's arrived, and now's the time to get all your Knicks, Rangers, and Liberty merchandise. You can purchase tickets to all Knicks games as well. So check out the new MSG store in the Manhattan Mall. Open 7 days a week. Knicks and Nuggets all tied up. Carmelo Anthony and Marcus Camby back in for the Denver Nuggets. McDyess and Houston getting off the bench, ready to come in. Nice feed from Frank Williams, and Clarence Weatherspoon with a quick impact off the bench. Weatherspoon with 2 points. Anthony now being guarded by Shandon Anderson. So he can post up at 6'8". He's got good size too. And nice block, but a second foul blocked again. Couple of rejections. Chris Anderson with another rebound. Barry off the mark for 3. And Weatherspoon the board.
Anderson released, but Ward finds Williams. Now he finds Anderson. Good ball movement here by the Knicks.
Charlie Ward hits the 3. 4 out of the 5 players touch that without a dribble.
Shooting is all about rhythm, and that time sweet harmony and rhythm by the Knicks.
Still Denver ball. Nick Bench has done a solid job as Houston and McDyess will relieve some of those bench members. Frank Williams and Clarence Weatherspoon.
And the Knick continuity will be our Panasonic digital replay. Look at the continuity right there. Ward efficient from downtown, draining the jumper.
And again, what you like to see there, Clyde, nobody put the ball on the floor. Just swing it, and you get a good open shot.
Right, because the defense cannot react as fast as the ball can move. There's
that old coaching expression as Andre Miller with a nice move can't finish. Swing it weak side, you get a good shot. Swing it weak side twice, you get a great shot. McDyess has been very active as Miller picks up his first. Second team foul against the Nuggets.
Knick defense now having an effect on these Denver players.
See, my philosophy was always get me the ball, I'll get up a shot. Houston.
See Allen shooting with one leg sticking out. He's not shooting under control, but that's to be expected. He missed the last 3 games.
Anthony, nice ball fake, draws the foul, won't go. Again, he doesn't look, he's not fast, but he's got quickness, and because he's got good instinct, that first step.
He's a very smart player, man. We saw that on the defense. Hey, Melo. We saw that on the defense. He was making steals, and that time showing some savvy on the offense to get to the line.
Talking to John Barry before the game about him and asking him what impresses him the most, he says, you just mentioned his nickname, Melo. He said that name's appropriate because it's not that he's mellow on the court, but he's under control. His composure and demeanor stays the same. You know, he plays hard, plays competitive, but again, does not get rattled. Doliak with Camby coming at him. Michael Doliak with his second. Check that, his third field goal. He's 3 for 3. And the Knicks with their largest lead in the early going.
See the Nuggets opening the court, making the Knicks play defense, which the Knicks have been doing a splendid job of. Giving Camby the shot. He's reluctant to shoot now.
And Doliak played that perfectly. Out of bounds. When he didn't go, Camby wanted to drive to the basket. Doliak did not go to fake, stayed in front, and did some solid defense as the Knicks with a 6-point lead here in the second. 20 years ago today, Kiki Vandeweghe, now who runs the Denver Nuggets, played in a game that was the highest scoring game in NBA history, where the Nuggets lost to the Pistons 186-184 in triple overtime. There's Isaiah Thomas. He only had 47 points and 17 assists. Vandeweghe, meanwhile, had 51, as 4 players had 40 points or more. Alex English had 47. As you see, John Long also with 41. Now, Detroit scored 186 points, and they missed 23 free throws in the game. The highest scoring game in the history of the NBA 20 years ago today. I don't think they'll reach that high. As Houston comes up short. Houston not getting any, as you noted it before, he's not getting any lift off his jumper right now.
Also poor shot selection by Allen. He's got to move in closer until he finds the range.
Just 1 of 7 from the field. Knicks, though, as a team shooting pretty well at 46%.
Surprisingly, the Nuggets not looking for their top guns. Now they have one. Leonard finally gets the shot off.
Doliak. Michael Doliak, 4 for 4. He's got 8 points in 8 minutes.
The Nuggets playing the Swiss cheese defense, so the Knicks have been able to find a lot of holes in it and good passing to find uncontested shooters. See, now the Nuggets standing around going one-on-one.
Anthony gets inside. Nice move.
See how he protects the ball with his body. Nice job by Melo.
You already got that nickname going. Houston has to double clutch and puts it in. See, I've said this before. In fact, I said it last night with Bill Walton. I think you have to be in the league 5 years before you're allowed to have a nickname.
Oh, yeah?
That's my own stupid rule. Rajon Leonard can't hit. Doliak helping out on the boards.
There are exceptions, Mike.
It just comes too easy. And a turnover for the Knicks. That's only their 3rd turnover. And we've played nearly 16 minutes. So we should make an exception for Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, I think so. He's worthy of a nickname.
Oh, that's a good first step. Offensive foul. Antonio McDyess has played some solid defense here in the first half.
So there's the shake. McDyess would not let him bake as he got into the paint. Melo has to learn to pull up for the short jumper as Antonio impeding his way. Good defensive effort by Antonio.
That's a perfect example for youngsters learning the game, to see your man and the ball. Seeing a man drive and just step right in. Excellent team defense from Antonio McDyess. Gets inside and draws the foul.
Almost decapitated by Camby. The Nugget defense very porous now. The Knicks having their way.
Anthony commits the foul. Check that, Camby.
Watch the manipulation by Dice. He will shoot two.
Dice hasn't found his rhythm yet at the free throw line. Just 59% so far. Able to knock that one down. And more substitutions. Francisco Elson coming into the game. A rookie from Cal, a native of the Netherlands, whose guy gets spot duty. 7-footer. Played the last 4 years in Spain. Knicks with their largest lead of the first half, the 10-point advantage. Miller takes it right to the goal. Late whistle and a foul as Charlie Ward bumped him. And Andre Miller will shoot two.
Slick move by Miller, penetrated along the baseline.
Miller signed a big deal in the offseason, 6-year deal for $51 million after playing in what he called the worst place I've ever been in, playing with the LA Clippers. Of course, he started his career in Cleveland, first 3 years with the Cavs. One of those years led the NBA in assists. Did not have a good year last year as he hits the first. Reminder, weekday afternoons from 4 to 6, tune to MSG Network for Talk of Our Town. Presented by Sims, the best in sports talk. Call up, have your opinions heard. Talk of Our Town live weekdays 4 o'clock on MSG.
Surprising he would say that, Mike. He's a native of LA. So I thought he would be happy going back home, but it did not work out well for him.
Did not last at all. And a good signing for Denver. They've got two good point guards in Miller and Boykins.
Denver needs some defense now. They have not been able to contain these Knicks.
McDyess way off the mark, falling away on that.
Anthony alley-oop.
Beautiful pass from Miller. Anthony called for it at about the top of the three-point circle. Just kind of pointed up. And Miller gave him a perfect pass.
I love the way Carmelo runs the court.
Ball poked away. And a loose ball foul is going to go against Antonio McDyess. And we'll have a timeout. Let's take another peek at Carmelo Anthony.
And Miller, their leading assist man, and Melo leads them in scoring. So this time, good ESP by these two, exciting the Garden crowd.
Carmelo Anthony, leading scorer with 14 points. We talked about how he doesn't get rattled. He's also a very respectful young man who's very coachable, respectful to coaches, his teammates, to the officials. And that all goes back to his mother. He was raised by his mom. He's the youngest of 4 kids. His mother, Mary Anthony. They grew up in an area in Baltimore called the Pharmacy because the drug use was so rampant there. His dad passed away when he was 2 years old, and his mother was in control. She stayed on top of her boy when he was growing up, and anytime he got out of line, she threatened to take away his basketball privileges, wouldn't take him off the team. And Anthony owes all of it to his mother, Mary Anthony, who did a wonderful job raising a good kid. And good hustle from both teams. Leonard trying to get a timeout. And they're going to call a jump ball. I like to see that. It's too easy. Players, if they don't have full possession of the ball, scrambles trying to get timeouts. Sometimes the officials give it to them.
Leonard has not been into the flow. This time just too nonchalant off the dribble. He dribbles right into a triple team. And that's why he was tied up. Good effort right there to force the jump ball scenario. Leonard 6'4", Dice 6'9".
The officials making sure everybody's settled around. Can't move around the lane until the ball is jumped. Leonard and McDyess pushing each other. And McDyess easily wins the tip. It's leading by 6, 2.5 remaining here in the second, along with Clyde Frazier and Al Troutwig. Mike Breen on hand as the Knicks try and snap their losing streak at 6. Like a lot of games this season, Knicks have had some very good stretches. Blocked from behind by Camby.
Camby also among the leaders, 2 per game in rejection. Now he's baseline.
And Miller's pass a little too strong. Camby right now is 8th in the NBA in block shots as the Nuggets turn it over for the 7th time.
We mentioned the Nuggets' propensity for turnovers. One of the worst in the league.
Again, the Knicks just 4. So at least for the first half, they've done a good job taking care of the basketball.
Trying to get Houston involved, but he has not had a good shot selection.
Good ball movement again. Charlie Ward, that's a 3. High arcing shot from Ward. Van Horn the rebound. Trying to save it, but he was out of bounds. And Clarence Weatherspoon will come back in. Rebounding numbers, Nuggets +3 in that department. And McDyess will sit down. McDyess 14 minutes here in the first half.
Not counting minutes on the bike. They don't count that.
Right. You're just tuning in. McDyess, when he was out of the game earlier, the stationary bike under the tunnel to stay loose. Leonard and Houston had some battles back when Leonard played with the Miami Heat. Nice move from Vashawn Leonard that time. He's had some big games scoring-wise. For this team, he's third in scoring at 15 a game.
He's recently Player of the Week in the Western Conference because of his offensive prowess.
He had a game earlier this season where he had 26 in the first quarter. Wound up with 38 for the game. Doliak's pass deflected. And Van Horn is fouled. And Van Horn will go to the line.
Knicks mauling them in the paint now. Very aggressive play by the Knicks in the paint, especially Van Horn. Watch Van Horn hell-bent, defiant to get into the paint, so they had to whack him. He's shooting 2.
And
previously missed both.
Yep, which is unusual for Van Horn, who's shooting 87% from the free throw line this season. And now has 7 points.
He has an unusual high arcing shot on his free throw.
Yeah, for a big guy, you don't normally see that. His 3-pointers, he has a pretty high arc as well.
Watch the arc on that shot, folks. Way up there.
But he's always been a good free throw shooter, 83% for his career. Knicks up 6 as we approach a minute remaining. Anthony, nice feed. Leonard falling away. Tough shot won't go. Van Horn with another rebound. He's got 4.
Knicks just need to run their offense. They're getting anything they want by moving the ball, moving themselves.
Van Horn trying to get inside.
See Anthony always lurking.
Weatherspoon finds Van Horn. Weatherspoon knocked it out of bounds. Knicks shooting 44% from the field. Knicks have led by as many as 10. Nuggets briefly led by 1. Anthony has been solid. 14 points, 5 rebounds. Inside, and Miller with a nice play on a good feed from Leonard. 6 points from Miller. There's about a full second, say, between the shot clock and game clock. The difference there. Knicks will try and hold it for the final shot of the period and go in with the lead at halftime. Nuggets do not have a foul to give. Van Horn stripped to the ball. Here comes Miller. And his pass for Leonard. And is not able to put it in. Nice play, though. The Knicks with a turnover to finish. Only their 5th turnover. It's halftime here at Madison Square Garden. Coming up, the Tri-State Jeep Halftime Report. Jeep, the most respected and honored 4x4s out there, only in a Jeep 4x4. We'll have first half statistics and then the highlights with Al Troutwig and John Starks in the building tonight. Halftime here at the Garden. Carmelo Anthony, the game's leading scorer with 14, but the Knicks on top. A 4-point lead as they return home after that West Coast trip, trying to snap their losing streak at 6. Some of the numbers from the first 2 periods. Knicks shooting a little better than the Nuggets. Took a few less free throws. Neither team doing much from 3-point range. Knicks, though, the 14 assists and the 5 turnovers. That's a good assist-to-turnover ratio, Clyde.
Right. Also, the Knicks bench very productive. 18 points off the bench, led by Doliak with 8 of those. Conversely, the bench of the Nuggets only 8 points.
Now, that 1 for 5 from 3 for the Denver Nuggets, that's a good number because, as we mentioned earlier, the Nuggets, the 3rd best 3-point shooting team in the NBA, but they've not been able to get it going. Although Carmelo Anthony with a strong first half, he had 14 points and shot 5 of 11 from the field, had 5 rebounds and an assist.
Some key players. I think Vashawn Leonard will have to get it going for the Nuggets. So he was held to 7 points, and Allen Houston coming off a 3-game hiatus, only 2 of 8. They have to get Houston involved as well.
McDyess, meanwhile, had 3 assists. He had 2 steals, 6 points. Just 1 rebound, but was active again. Had some buckets early on in the game.
The Knicks should run their offense. They were getting anything that they wanted, especially after they make 2 or 3 passes. They found an uncontested shooter. So they need ball movement, move the ball, move themselves.
They also established Mutombo early. Mutombo only played 12 minutes. Had a lot of his points, 6 of them very early in the game. They look again quickly, and Mutombo delivers right away. Lots of teams like to do that, Clyde. Establish the low post presence early to kind of draw the defense in, which opens up the perimeter game a bit.
Yep, playing inside out.
Nene has been in foul trouble.
And
that time gets his first field goal.
Yeah, good dexterity by Nene with the left hand.
He only had 1.1 rebound in the first half, but Mutombo did a good job on him.
So both teams are featuring their big men. And this is how we started the game. The Knicks won with Mutombo. Here he comes along the baseline.
Van Horn has Leonard on him, blows right past, and a foul. Good move from Keith Van Horn. And he's the first Knick in double figures with 10 as they go up by 6.
We've seen a tenacious Van Horn tonight, attacking in the paint, defiant attitudes. There they hacked by Leonard in the continuation, so he shoots 1.
Van Horn, after missing his first 2 free throws, hits 3 in a row. 11 points, 4 boards for Keith Van Horn. Both teams with pretty balanced scoring as the Knicks lead by 7. Nene, quick move. You talk to the people around the Nuggets, and they'll tell you that he reminds them a little bit of Hakeem Olajuwon. Now, certainly not the skill level of Olajuwon, but they say his competitiveness. He's very stubborn. Like, always thinks he can do the next best thing, and always thinks he can take this guy or that guy, which can be a good trait. Sometimes it can hurt a team, but you like his competitiveness.
His nemesis has been fouled. He has 3 right now.
Houston finds Mutombo, and Mutombo with the dunk. Houston threatening his foul. Allen Houston's, he's hobbling. He's limping a little bit as he runs up the floor. See a little bit of a wince as well.
3 consecutive times they've gone to Nene to start the game.
And lost the ball. Isley right there to help out. Isley trying to find the seam and able, but can't get it to go in. But Dice set a perfect pick. Knicks by 7. We've played 2 minutes here in the third. Miller, the floater, and 1. Andre Miller with the chance for the 3-point play as they call the foul against.
Watch Miller, good dribble penetration, and Isley fouled him from behind, and Nene off to a good start. Has made his first 2 hoops, isolating Mutombo here, using his quickness to beat him along the baseline.
That foul is on Isley, his first. So Miller now with 9 points, 4 assists. Good balanced scoring. Anthony 14, 9 for Miller, 7 for Leonard.
They had all 5 starters were in double digits last night for the Nuggets in their win over the Sixers. So they're very team-oriented.
McDyess had a foul. Nene hit him on the way up, and Antonio McDyess with a chance for a 3-point play as Nene picks up his 4th personal.
And this would be our Panasonic digital replay. We mentioned Nene and his penchant for fouls. He'll have to take a seat now. He has 4. Nobody coming off the Nugget benches yet. So they're leaving him out there.
Leonard. Anthony, that's a 3 for Carmelo Anthony. And Camby comes flying in for the rebound. Anthony's not a strong 3-point shooter, 33%. But he's a better mid-range shooter.
Nene's open.
And a foul on the entry pass is going to go against Antonio McDyess. That's his 2nd. Knicks not in the penalty, so the Nuggets will take it out of bounds. Shot clock reset to 14.
Normally when a player gets 4 fouls at this stage of the game, 9:13 remaining in the 3rd quarter, the team would take him out. But Nene now, they're leaving him out there. Houston doing a good job on Leonard. Leonard can't get open.
Again, they try Nene. Van Horn with the help defense. Houston, good pass ahead, and Van Horn does not get the roll. They still lead by 6. 3 minutes gone by here in the 3rd. Leonard, that's a 2-pointer. And Camby knocks it out of bounds. Key here, again, this is the last game of an East Coast swing for the Nuggets, and they played last night. So If any team is going to have a lack of energy, it might be Denver, but that's the one thing they have not suffered from this season. They're a high energy team, obviously with a lot of youngsters. Van Horn short on the three. Miller the rebound. And they've been very good in the second game of back-to-backs. They're 5-2. And a reach-in foul call on Howard Isley. Isley picks up his second. Knicks with their third team foul.
His second. Team's third.
So the Denver to take it out of bounds. Shooting numbers have gone down since the early start. Knicks at 46%. And the Nuggets at 43%. Van Horn's done a pretty good job defensively on Carmelo Anthony. That time he gets inside nicely and tipped in by Marcus Camby.
Exquisite timing by Camby, not being charged with goaltending, but he did not touch the ball above the cylinder.
Camby's always had that good timing with block shots. McDyess's pass deflected.
Anthony has the mismatch. He should have kept the ball. Isley on him. Now they're looking for him baseline. Houston switches.
Oh, nice move from Miller. Blocked though by Mutombo. And a blocking foul call on Rashawn Leonard. Knicks have done a good job in the interior defense as Leonard picks up his second. Team foul on the Nuggets.
See the pace now taking a toll on the players. A lot of heavy breathing out there, especially for the Nuggets who played last night.
Anthony looks like he's breathing heavy. Now last year he played 35 games. That was his one season in college. So he's played 22 games. He's playing a lot of minutes, almost 36 minutes a game. And it takes its toll, especially with the travel. Young players not used to that, but you have your youth, you tend to bounce back nicely. Leonard called for the reach-in foul, and Houston will shoot a couple.
The confrontation between Leonard and Houston continues. Houston has done a good job denying Leonard. This time Leonard reaching in with the foul. And let's take a look at how he did it. Houston isolated him one-on-one. There's the foul. Houston currently the best free throw shooter in the league after leading the league last season.
Now, and Houston has taken 69 free throws this year. He's missed only 5 of them. Knocks down that. Tonight after the game, tackle the New York football scene on unnecessary roughness presented by Gatorade. Then at 10:30, catch the Boomer Esiason Show presented by Samsung with guest Mark Messier and do coach Mike Krzyzewski. That's coming up tonight here on the MSG Network. Knicks by 6. Over 7 minutes remaining in the third. Van Horn with the steal. Good anticipation. Van Horn drives down, and Keith Van Horn gives the Knicks an 8-point lead.
You mentioned Van Horn's pugnacity and tenacity tonight, so he's playing with a vim and vigor, propelling the Knicks.
Jeff Bezdelik calls timeout. Van Horn, a good aggressive game. 13 points, 4 rebounds, couple of assists, 2 steals. And this deal leads to an easy bucket for Keith Van Horn. An 8-point Knick lead here in the third. Anheuser-Busch salutes parents who talk to their kids about drinking. We all make a difference. Looks like a yawn is coming up there. As the children enjoying an 8-point Knick lead with 7:01 remaining in the third. And at the game tonight, the newest Met, Kaz Matsui. They put him up on the big screen, and the crowd with a nice ovation for Matsui. And before the game, took his picture with Antonio McDyess. I wonder if either one of them knows who the other one is.
I think McDyess knows him.
Well, if he's been reading the paper the last several days, he certainly does. The Hot Stove League fired up. Leonard for 3. Rashawn Leonard able to knock it down. And just like that, the lead kept to 5.
Leonard, a 41% shooter from downtown.
Leonard is shooting better from downtown than from 2-point range. McDyess broken up nicely by Nene. We have not seen that yet, the alley-oop to Antonio McDyess, which is a part of his repertoire.
Denver, a little momentum here.
Houston helps out on the boards.
You need timely hoops, especially when you play on the road. They needed that one.
Now, Anthony, as you mentioned, is only shooting 38%. And good defense from Leonard. And Leonard gets in for an easy 2. Allen Houston is rusty after missing those 3 games.
And we mentioned Leonard would be a key player here. And now he has 5 consecutive points, previously for downtown, and then they're releasing on the transition hoop.
And a 20-second timeout called by Don Chaney. Houston just 2 of 8 from the field.
See Leonard denying him right there, and then he releases just ahead of Houston. Good restraint by Houston not to foul it.
But again, Houston not getting the lift on the leg because of the sore right knee. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. The Knicks finally back home. They'll have 3 straight home games tomorrow night. Back-to-back Saturday and Sunday night against the Wizards. Then Tuesday, Golden State comes to town. And then the Knicks back on the road for 1 quick game in Toronto against the Raptors, who, since that trade, have been playing some pretty good basketball. Now that Jalen Rose is there. There's Mike Saunders, Don Chaney, Brendan Malone, and Lon Kruger. Knicks trying to snap their losing streak at 6. They lead by 3. We're midway through the 3rd. Van Horn. Good shuffle to the feet by Anthony Van Horn. Nice, pretty move, but couldn't finish on the finger roll. And McDyess comes out of the pack.
Camby's fronting. The lob is available.
Howard Isley holding on to the ball.
Camby doing a good job denying Mutombo.
And the Knicks sloppy that time. And a double dribble called on the name.
The Nuggets are an enigma. They average 17 turnovers, but then they forced 18 turnovers a game after averaging 17. Watch Van Horn, a little gyration to get into the paint and misfires.
Trying the left hand. Turnovers 12 for Denver, 9 for the Knicks. McDyess wants the ball.
Nene with 4 fouls. He should take him.
McDyess can't get it to go. Good boxing out from Camby. Marcus Camby with his 7th rebound. Miller threw it up there as soon as he felt the contact. I think they're going to call it before the shot. Isley's going to pick up his 3rd foul.
See, Miller keeps the ball in the middle of the court. There you're a threat. You see an open and take it. He took it, drew the foul, but was not in active shooting. So the Nuggets have it along the side.
A change of speed there from Andre Miller. That's a part you don't see a lot of guys use anymore.
Yeah, they're hell-bent from the get-go.
Anthony blocked inside, but Mutombo's presence. Nene will try and block with a foul. So free throws coming up. And a technical foul on Dikembe Mutombo. And you just knew it was a matter of time. He was doing the finger wag, and he did it to Nene. Rodney Mott saw it. Mutombo arguing like he always does. He needs to improve on his relationship with officials. That's the finger wag. Now, even if he's not necessarily doing it at Nene, he's doing it in his direction. And that's, they specifically made that rule, no taunting. Mutombo lucky he's not getting another technical foul with his argument to Rodney Mott.
I didn't think that was that blatant. But,
right, he's done other ones that are more, but what he's doing now, and he changed this when they made the rule, he no longer does it toward the player, he does it towards the crowd. But in this instant, it looked like he was doing it toward the crowd down the other end, or at least toward the sideline, and Nene was in that line of direction. Rodney Mott saw it and gave him the technical.
Because Nene had turned his back when Mutombo was waving his finger, so I didn't think it was justified. But Nene's capitalizing now. He has one more coming. He's made 2 consecutive free throws.
This is that one. McDyess the rebound. 7-0 run now by the Denver Nuggets. Isley drives down, but brings it back out. Crowd wanted him to shoot it, but Nene was right there. Van Horn double team. Van Horn wants the ball. And a foul on Andre Miller as Mutombo was trying to establish position down low.
The Nuggets will pay as they are in the penalty, so Mutombo will shoot 2.
Foul, 24, Andre Miller. This second, Nuggets are over the limit.
So Miller picks up his 2nd. Mutombo to the line for the first time tonight. Mutombo still talking to the officials.
Mutombo shooting 2.
Mutombo has been featured, folks, early in the game. To start the game, he was a featured player early in the 3rd quarter as well for the Knicks.
Knocks down the first. MSG's telecast of tonight's Knicks game available right now in high definition only on cable TV with widescreen images up to 10 times sharper than regular TV and Dolby digital sound. MSG in high def available only on cable. Mutombo with 12 points now. 2 rebounds from Mutombo and a block shot. Knicks by 3. Miller. And foul by Mutombo, his 3rd. Miller now starting to beat the Knicks guards off the dribble. Doliak's going to come in, and Mutombo with his 3rd foul will sit.
So to deny this, you see Isley has to get in front of him. He's playing on the side, and Miller using his quickness to go right around it. And he has to give him a step or 2 or whatever it takes to keep Miller from eluding him. So that's a big play, big foul there, getting Mutombo on the bench. So now the paint is open.
It just opens up, makes the defense have to react, recover. And somebody's out of position when you get beat off the dribble. Miller very good at that. Hits both free throws. And the Knicks lead cut to 1 again.
It's been a half-court game. Not a lot of dishing and swishing in transition.
You know, the Nuggets like to push. But I think, Clyde, in some ways they're content because they look like the team that's been on the East Coast for a while. Van Horn and a foul. Carmelo Anthony hit him in the arm, and Keith Van Horn with a chance for a 3-point play. Van Horn now with 7 of his 15 here in the 3rd.
The most fire and desire we've seen from Van Horn in a while. So he's like a man possessed right now. Will not be denied. And this was a splendid play at 6'10", no way to stop it. Melo got a piece of it, but could not deny the basket. So Keith again with another 3-point opportunity.
He's played a good aggressive game. And has now made 4 straight free throws, 16 points to lead all scorers. Van Horn. Knicks back up by 4.
Anthony looking to retaliate now.
McDyess goes double team, and the block shot from McDyess. Excellent team defense.
First shot Anthony has forced. He forced that one.
And it's still going to be Nick Ball. Last touch by Camby as Weatherspoon's going to come in. McDyess has played 22 minutes. And Don Chaney wants to play him some in the 4th quarter. They don't want to play him any more than 25. Chaney said before the game probably 25, 26, maybe a couple more. But he did start the game. That's because no Kurt Thomas. Kurt Thomas, a rare miss. His knee tendonitis has really been bothering him. Weatherspoon blocked by Anderson.
The 2nd of the game for Anderson. That's what he averages on the season.
That's a matter where you have to realize who's guarding you when you make a certain move. Anderson doesn't look to score.
Melo is open.
Carmelo Anthony, the give and go. This cuts back to 1 on Van Horn. And the Knicks lead cut to 2.
The Knicks paid too much attention to double teaming the ball and left him open.
Van Horn. Bad pass and a clear path foul is going to go. So they'll get a free throw and the ball. Don Chaney very upset with just a poor turnover from Keith Van Horn. And Miller's going to talk it over.
Miller's starting to create havoc now. Watch the Knicks double team right there. And Anthony goes uncontested for the dunk.
.321 remaining. 3rd quarter, Madison Square Garden. John Starks on the big screen, as you see, getting such a nice ovation here at Madison Square Garden as they announce it. Stands up, waves to the crowd, gets another ovation. John Starks, of course, who works now with the MSG Network. We saw him on the pregame and the halftime with Al Troutwig. Still so popular. Meanwhile, Carmelo Anthony, the leading scorer for the Denver Nuggets this season. And tonight he's got 16 points, and that leads us to our Nissan trivia. Who holds the Knicks rookie record for scoring average? I think it's Cartwright. Cartwright averaged more than Ewing when he first came in. I'm going to go with Cartwright.
How much did he average, you know?
I haven't gotten one right all season long.
Not Cartwright, it's probably Willis Reed.
Are you going with Reed?
Yeah.
You're just doing that to curry favor with Willis. So Miller, who was at a strong 3rd quarter. Now 11 points, 5 assists for the game. And there's Willis. So nice to have him back here at Madison Square Garden working for the Knicks again after so many years working across the river with New Jersey. Willis just recently accompanied the Knicks on one of their road trips. Players love to see them. Don Chaney loves to talk with them. Game tied up. Knicks are up by 8 earlier in the period. And now it's all even again with 3:13 remaining in the 3rd. Witherspoon. Van Horn, the offensive rebound, goes back up, can't finish, and an offensive foul as he pushed off with the left arm.
And he pushed off Miller, his former college teammate. Miller doing a good job of getting in the way. Again, a good aggressive rebound by the 6'10" Van Horn. And watch at the last minute, there's Miller. There's the shove. A good call by the official. Miller into the front court.
Third foul on Van Horn. Knicks had 5 turnovers in the first half. They have 6 turnovers here in the third. It's been their #1 problem area. As Don Chaney has said, nice tip by Ward. It was not a problem in the first half, but here in the third quarter. And a bad pass from Shandon Anderson. That's the 7th turnover in the third period.
Good defense by Anthony. Carmelo Anthony overplaying the passing lane to tip the ball away.
2.5 remaining in the third. Knicks and Nuggets all tied up. Knicks trying to snap their losing streak against the Denver Nugget team that has been the surprise team in the NBA this year. Miller, tough turnaround shot. Boy, Miller's had a big third quarter. 9 of his 15 in the period, and the Knicks trail by 2.
Miller had 23 last night to go with 7 assists, and he continues his rampage tonight.
Charlie Ward for 3. Ward was off balance. Anderson knocks it off the backboard. Witherspoon tries to come up with it, and it winds up in the hands of Andre Miller. He's looking for an alley-oop for Anthony, but decided not to go.
It's Leonard. Leonard was open. Now Anderson's on him.
Leonard, tough fall-away shot, and that won't go. Doliak with the rebound. Doliak had a good game.
Leonard and Anderson doing a lot of shoving coming up the court.
Good help defense from Anderson.
See the elbow by Leonard? Should have been a technical.
Witherspoon poked away, and here comes Miller the other way. Good defense from Shandon Anderson. Good hustling back. Knicks still trail by 2. Charlie Ward the fall away. And a loose ball foul is going to go against the Knicks. Clarence Witherspoon called for it.
Play is becoming very physical in the paint now.
First foul on Witherspoon. Both teams in the penalty now.
Fatigue is a factor. Guys don't want to move, so they're starting to shove. And that time Anderson was shoved, so he's at the line for 2.
Chris Anderson, who wasn't drafted back in 1999, went to Lynn Junior College. This fires on the first one, 6'10", signed as a free agent. He was the first call-up from the NBDL. Played in China for a while, and then went to the NBDL when that was formed. First one called up, re-signed again this September. Guy's been cut by Cleveland, cut by Phoenix. He played in the IBL for a while as well. A good hustle player. That's an excellent shot blocker. Knicks down by 3. Coming up on a minute remaining. Third quarter. Anderson. There was contact there. Chris Anderson, Shandon Anderson thought he was fouled. Andre Miller has given the Knicks some problems here in this third period. That's not a good shot, but Camby on the follow. Marcus Camby puts the Nuggets up by 5.
Camby with the crowd pleasing stuff, igniting the Garden crowd, and the Knicks want to talk.
Don Chaney wants to talk it over. 46.8 seconds remaining. Marcus Camby putting the Nuggets up 5. 46.8 seconds remaining. Third quarter, Madison Square Garden. Denver scored the last 9 points to take a 5-point lead, their largest of the game. Allen Houston will come back in. Marcus Camby gave them that 5-point lead with a slam follow.
But it's been Miller and Leonard providing the impetus now for the rampaging Nuggets. So Leonard is out of the game. Miller continues to stay in.
Frank Williams comes in. Williams and Houston in the backcourt with Doliak, Witherspoon, and Shandon Anderson. John Barry is on Houston. Height advantage there. Anderson picks him up, picks up his dribble quickly. Doliak. Rushed the shot. Camby the rebound. Doliak's first miss.
Camby relentless on the defense that time, distracting Doliak with the shot.
About a second difference between the shot and game clock as we wind down the third quarter. Miller, good help defense that time. And the Knicks will try and get off the final shot of the period. Frank Williams getting inside. Chandler Anderson for three. And the buzzer won't go. And the Nuggets in on a 9-0 run. A 17-point turnaround in the third. Knicks led by 8 earlier in the period. Now trail by 5, so a 13-point turnaround. New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by New York State Lottery. New York Lotto gives you 2 games for $1, so play today. Hey, you never know. By the most respected, honored, and heroic 4x4s out there, only in a Jeep 4x4. And by Office Depot, what you need to know. A reminder, Sunday night on MSG Network, catch MSG Sports Desk presented by Toyota, featuring New York football news, scores, and highlights. And then Al Trautwig and company deliver NFL insights and opinions on an all-new angles. That's tomorrow night starting at 9:30, only on MSG. Fourth quarter set to begin at Madison Square Garden. Knicks trailing by 5. Trying to snap the losing streak at 6. They led by 8 earlier in the third, but an 18-5 run, so a 13-point turnaround. And Denver takes the lead into the final period.
And now the Nuggets relying on their second unit, which does not distinguish themselves in the first half.
Earl Boykins, John Barry, Chris Anderson, Ryan Bowen, and Francisco Elson. That's Elson with the ball. Bowen not an offensive threat. Foul as he makes his move. So 2 free throws coming up for Ryan Bowen. Knicks playing tonight without Kurt Thomas, only his 5th miss. He's only missed 5 games tonight, number 5, since he's come to New York, and this is his 6th year. A very durable player whose knee tendonitis has been bothering him all season. Meanwhile, Anderson hits the first free throw. Excuse me, Bowen. Bowen, that's only his 5th free throw attempt of the season. He's hit them all now. He's 6 for 6 on the year. Again, he doesn't look to score much. He's just an energy player. And the Knicks down by 7. Largest lead for the Nuggets. Doliak. Good extra pass. Chandler Anderson finding Doliak. And a 3-second violation called. Good defense that time from the Nuggets.
Swarming to the ball, so the Knicks could not find an uncontested shooter. See, Williams can't pressure Boykins. He should just get off of him. The guy's too quick. That's why he's going to beat him into the paint.
There's really nobody in the league who can pressure Boykins. He's just so quick. Alan Houston trying to keep John Barry in front of him. Barry knocked away by Williams. Just gets it off in time. Shot won't go. And Barry almost kept it alive. Good hustle from John Barry. Knicks right now struggling offensively. Chandler Anderson falls down. Allen Houston with the jumper. Houston just unable to find the range. Doliak, good job tipping it to a teammate. Houston just 2 of 9 from the field. You can tell his rust from missing those games. And draws the foul. Ryan Bowen with the bump. It's going to be on the pass. So first team foul and the first on Bowen.
Knicks need a hot hand. Someone is open. The Nuggets continue to double team the ball. Whenever you're swarming and double teaming, prudent passing will find an uncontested shooter.
No one's been able to give the spark. Van Horn, the Knicks leading scorer with 16, Mutombo with 12. Those are the only 2 Knicks in double figures. Houston, tough shot, puts it in. Allen Houston missed his 3rd field goal, but it brings the Knicks within 5. Houston has a height advantage on Barry, who's a good aggressive defender.
Yeah, but this unit just buying time, trying to fight off the Knicks until they can get their starters back in the game. You see the shot clock winding down.
Barry for 3. now throws it ahead. Knicks have not been able to run much. Good transition defense by Denver. They want to go to Houston again. Frank Williams, the extra pass. Shandon Anderson hits the three. Anderson from downtown. And the Knicks back within 2.
That's the continuity we alluded to. When they're swarming, move the ball. Prudent passing, found Anderson.
Frank Williams was open but had an extra pass for Shandon Anderson. And Anderson with his second field goal. Only the second three-pointer by the Knicks. Bowen can't hit. Williams looking to push players behind him. Behind the back pass and a foul. Witherspoon hit. Oh, pretty feed from Frank Williams as he gets the trailer. And Witherspoon will shoot 2.
And no, he does not have eyes in the back of his head. Spoon is saying right now, trailer, trailer. And that's why he just heard the voice. Right now, Spoon is telling him trailer. And he heard the voice, and a sweet dish to find Spoon to get him to the line.
Foul was on Anderson, his third. Clarence Witherspoon now 3 points in the game.
Let's take a look at the Panasonic digital replay. There's the double. There's the prudent passing and uncontested shooter in Shandon Anderson.
So Frank Williams, 2 solid passes to set up teammates. Witherspoon able to hit both free throws. And the Knicks bounce back. Tie the game with 3 minutes gone by here in the 4th.
And now they have a couple of starters in the game. Nene and Anthony are back.
And he carried it. Nene. That one more into the palm when the hand goes under the ball. Watch. Well, Frank Williams kind of blocking up. Oh, it's clearly a carry. You could say there's a lot of players you could call on him, but that one was blatant. The turnover for the Nuggets. Knicks with the ball as they've tied it up here in the 4th. Fans, come watch the Knicks at the Garden tomorrow night at 7 when they take on the Washington Wizards. For tickets, log on to NewYorkKnicks.com or call 1-800-4-NBA-TICKS. One team, one New York. The New York Knicks 3-game homestand starting tonight. Knicks trying to snap their losing streak at 6, and they're on a 7-0 run. A Denver team that features some former Knicks, former head coach John McLeod, now an assistant for Jeff Bezdelic. And also on the bench, former Knicks Scotty Brooks, one of the good guys who was a popular role player for the Knicks, although briefly getting his first taste as an NBA assistant coach. Frank Williams draws the foul on Boykins. So Williams been a nice spark here in the 4th quarter.
Denver foul number 11, Earl Boykins.
His 13th foul against the Nuggets. Again, Frank Williams' ability to penetrate is the key to his success. Lots of times doesn't get 4th quarter minutes because he's not the defender Charlie Ward is. Williams setting up Allen Houston, spots up for 3, puts it in. Allen Houston, courtesy of Frank Williams again, and the Knicks with a 10-0 run.
The rejuvenated Houston now. Now he's getting elevation on that jumper.
Antonio McDyess to Kemby Mutombo back in the game. Kemby mishandles it. They go to Nene. Quick move off balance. Oh, tough shot from Nene. Williams looking to push. And although Boykins is little, he can be a pesky defender. And Williams not known for posting up. Finding McDyess. McDyess. Knicks by 3. Just over 4 minutes gone by here in the 4th. Antonio McDyess with 10 points. Williams pokes it away. Carmelo Anthony you see back in the game. Camby the runner in the paint. Nice shot from Marcus Camby. He's got a double-double, 12 points and 10 rebounds.
You see their big men displaying a lot of agility and elusiveness. Previously Nene, and that time Camby.
Houston. Nice play from Carmelo Anthony. And then a reaching foul on Allen Houston. Well, they call it against McDyess, excuse me.
Next foul, number 34, Antonio McDyess.
Good swarming defense. Anthony the good hands. There was a good foul by Allen Houston. They will not be shooting. They also have the ball in the backcourt.
4 fouls on McDyess. Rashawn Leonard, Andre Miller, Nene, Marcus Camby, and Carmelo Anthony, the starting five, back in for Denver. Knicks have two bench players out there, Frank Williams and Chandler Anderson. Nice play from Mutombo. And they tried the alley-oop. That's why big men don't normally throw alley-oop passes. Anthony double team. And look at Camby come soaring in for the rebound, but couldn't finish. Anderson trying to push. Good transition defense from Denver. Anderson gets inside, though, and gets the roll. Knicks up 3 again.
Nuggets usually a good shot blocking team, actually need to lead, but not asserting themselves tonight.
Frank Williams pokes it away. Miller gets it back. Williams again.
Williams is hurt. Miller is hurt.
And Williams called timeout. Knicks will be down to their final timeout. But Frank Williams, a real spark to start here in the fourth quarter. Williams at both ends of the floor.
Watch Frank with the good hands. Right there, slaps it away. Miller in disarray. Williams, good perception to call timeout.
Just under 6.5 remaining in the fourth. Chandler Anderson aggressively going to the basket. Gives the Knicks a 3-point lead. All right, Nissan Trivia. Who holds the Knicks rookie record for scoring average? And the answer is Clyde. I got my first one right of the season.
Yep, congratulations.
Thank you. No monetary awards. Willis averaged, we're told by producer Spencer Julian, 19.5. Ewing averaged about 20 per game his first year.
Ewing was injury prone his first year, though. Didn't play a lot.
3-point Knick lead, 6.5 remaining in the fourth. Knicks trying to snap that losing streak at 6. Trying to get back on the winning track. They had won 4 of 5 prior to that home loss against Detroit and the 5 losses out west. Trying to win without Kurt Thomas tonight, as Antonio McDyess has got his first start. Anderson turns it over. Here's Carmelo Anthony running the floor, and he's fouled by McDyess, who goes falling over a cameraman and falls into the first row.
That's what we mentioned about Dice. He has not been tentative since his return. He's playing with abandon right there as Anthony was going up for the stuff. Watch Shannon lose the ball. Carry him off his foot. Melo. There's McDyess with the reckless abandon.
5 fouls now on Antonio McDyess, who's played 25 minutes.
That was a lot of stress on those knees.
Anthony hits a pair of free throws. Knick lead cut to 1 as we approach the midway point of the fourth.
The Knicks shooting the ball well. Allen Houston has found his touch. Frank Williams doing a good job of orchestrating.
Williams has been the spark here in the fourth. Mutombo now with the shot clock winding down. Leonard on Houston. Allen Houston. It's good. 3 straight shots have gone in for Allen Houston, who has been struggling all night.
But now this is how you get a reputation. When the game is on the line, Houston elevated his game.
Nene trying to clear out. Sid gets it to Leonard. Rashawn Leonard answers right back.
Allen has to get over the screen with some gusto. That time too nonchalant.
Leonard with 15. He's trying to post up McDyess, but Nene doing a good job moving him off the block. Houston again. Houston confident. Nice feed inside to Mutombo, and Mutombo pushed from behind.
And Houston's showing versatility in his game tonight. So that time he had a shot, but Mutombo had a better one in the paint.
Nene his 5th foul.
So watch Allen when he goes inside. He has a shot, but then he saw Mutombo underneath. So Kimbe for 2.
Mutombo 12 points and 2 rebounds plus a block. He's 2 for 2 from the line.
Early on, Mutombo was featured in the game. To start the game, they went into him 3 consecutive times. He made 2 of those 3 shots. And also to open the third quarter, similar scenario for the Knicks featuring Mutombo.
Mutombo 1 for 2. Knicks by 2. Still plenty of time. 5 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Anxious time for Don Chaney. Chance of defense from the Garden crowd. Good crowd on hand tonight here in the Garden. Shot clock at 5. Poor pass from Nene. No way you can handle that one. Even though it went through your hands, it's just a rocket.
Camby was wide open. He was standing right under the basket. A bullet pass. So the Knicks have it in the backcourt.
Marcus Camby perhaps telling him bounce pass. Allen Houston gets free, fires away. Allen Houston again. And the Knicks up by 4.
Knicks lead 83.
Houston has returned with a vengeance now, tantalizing the Nuggets. They want to talk it over.
Houston with 9 of his 15 points here in the fourth quarter as he suddenly found the range. Knicks a 4-point lead late in the fourth. Tomorrow night on MSG Network, the Knicks host the Washington Wizards. Tune in at 6:30, Canon Business Solution Knicks game night. Then the Knicks and Wizards tip off at 7, a Sunday night game on MSG Network as the Knicks lead by 4.
As Allen Houston starting to percolate. So he's been infallible with the jumper down the stretch. They're getting homage from his teammates.
Allen Houston 4 of 5 from the field in the fourth. McDyess, the good weak side rebound. Miller rushed the shot. If there's a criticism of Miller is he tends to look to shoot first too much. And that time, not a wise decision.
Now the mismatch inside to Dice.
Houston, nice extra pass, and Antonio McDyess puts it in. And the Knicks with a 6-point lead.
Houston doing it all, dishing and swishing now as he found Dice along the baseline.
Miller setting it up. Nene. Mutombo doesn't go for the fake. Nene drives in, blocked. I think it was McDyess and a help defense able to get it. Anthony inside. Tough shot won't go. Camby's tip won't go. Still loose. Anthony had it. Blocked again by Mutombo. And a foul off for Sean Leonard. And it all going the Knicks' way right now.
Because so Nene, that time it was Antonio. Melo inside. It was Dikembe. Camby had it. They knocked it away. So Mutombo again got a couple of blocks. So McDyess is saying, let's go, guys. So he's energized. And that time Mutombo, 2 rejection. McDyess 1. Williams at the line. So he's shooting 2.
Frank Williams, 75% from the line this season.
The Knicks, the worst shot blocking team in the league last year, no longer with Mutombo and a healthy McDyess.
Frank Williams has had a strong fourth quarter and hits a pair, and the Knicks lead by 8. A 15-point turnaround. Knicks on a 23-8 run.
Knicks have to watch their fouls and deny the 3-point shot.
Leonard, the pass inside. Knicks have it covered. Shot won't go. Camby's tip misses again. And Shandon Anderson comes away. Good interior defense by the Knicks.
The Nuggets tentative, apprehensive now because of the Knicks shot blocking ability.
Frank Williams getting a little carried away. McDyess wanted the ball down low.
This crowd is into the game, man. They are oohing and ahhing and now paying homage to their heroes.
Williams, the ball fake. Stricto on the way. Got a little careless with it. 2.5 remaining. Knicks lead by 8. Anthony gets Williams up in the air. Tough shot from Carmelo. Anthony. 20 points for the rookie.
Good D by Williams, but he's only 6'4". Anthony 6'8". No problem shooting over him.
Knicks have outscored Denver 23-12. Here in this fourth quarter, McDyess had his back to the play. Williams wanted to get it to him. Allen Houston. 5 on the shot clock. Houston shooting over Leonard. Way off Mutombo. Stripped on the way up in a 24-second violation.
24-second violation.
So give Leonard some credit that time. Hounding Houston into a poor shot. And then Miller denying Mutombo after he got the rebound. The Nuggets have it in the backcourt.
Miller calls out the play. Under 2 minutes remaining. Knicks holding on to a 6-point lead. Trying to snap the losing streak. Against the surprising Denver Nuggets. Anthony double team, puts it in. Oh, Carmelo Anthony, tough shot with 2 Knicks on him, and it's a 4-point game.
Knicks lead 87-83.
Miller trying to put some pressure on Williams. McDyess trying to get free. Nene doing a good job at ball denial. Now they get it to McDyess. Nene has 5 fouls. They double team. Shandon Anderson off the dribble. Shot won't go. Anderson tried to save it. Camby couldn't hold on. The hustle from Shandon Anderson caused that play on Marcus Camby.
Anderson knew when he released it, it was short. He hustled in and harassed Camby into forcing it out of bounds. Watch Anderson. When he lets it go, he's running to the basket. He knew it was short. Look at Camby. Not asserting himself, and the Knicks have it underneath.
Williams to inbound. Houston comes off the screen set by McDyess, who's played 30 minutes tonight. That's his season high. Houston double team. McDyess not looking to shoot. Knicks have plenty of time. McDyess wants the ball. Alley-oop, McDyess underneath, and he gets it in. Perfect pass from Frank Williams. And the Knicks up by 6 with a minute to play. Timeout Denver.
Yeah, Frank Williams continues to astound. Sweet dishing. ESP with he and McDyess. Watch Dice fake like he's coming towards the ball. Then he spins back door, fakes it off the rim, much to the delight of this crowd at the Garden. And the Knicks bench erupting as well.
McDyess with 14, tying his season high. Antonio McDyess has played a season high 30 minutes and has tied a season high with 14 points on this pretty pass from Frank Williams.
See, Nene has to deny him the low post position, and when you do that, you're vulnerable to the backdoor play. So a nice roll by Dice off the glass, and look at the exuberant Knick team as they smell this victory.
Antonio McDyess with 14 points. He has done a solid job tonight. 7 rebounds. He has 3 steals as well. Meanwhile, Frank Williams has 5 of his 7 assists here in the 4th quarter. Frank Williams has played the entire 4th. Anthony for 3. McDyess high for the rebound and a loose ball foul against Marcus Camby. You see the jumping ability of Antonio McDyess, and he'll now shoot free throws. He's 2 for 3 tonight as Camby picks up his 3rd.
Melo had made his last 2 jumpers. Good harassment there by Anderson. You see Camby the piggyback in play, so Dice at the line for 2.
Free throws important down the stretch here. I mentioned 7 boards from McDyess. He has 5. And misses that first one. Again, he's just not found the stroke yet at the free throw line. He was doing the game the other night with John Andres, and he noticed McDyess tends to kind of fade away a little bit on his free throw. Falls back as a 20-second timeout called by Jeff Delic. So both teams each with 1 timeout remaining. Knicks have a foul to give. Well, we're still a little bit early for that as they lead by 6. This one's not over yet. Right now, still a 2-possession game as Don Chaney diagramming. The team on the floor has done a strong job here in the 4th quarter.
McDyess into the game, only a 58% shooter from the line. So his woes continue as he has 1 more coming.
Knicks trailed by 7 early in the 4th. Went on a 23-8 run and led by as many as 8 here in the final period. Now nursing a 6-point lead.
The Nuggets have a good starting team, but their bench is suspect, and that's what cost them this game. They had a 5-point lead but had to rest their starters. And that's when the Knicks took control of the game. And by the time the starters returned, the Knicks had the momentum.
And McDyess now a season high 15 points. 90-83. Again, Denver, one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league this early in the season. Leonard, one of those 3-point shooters. Frank Williams contests the shot. Nice. Leonard still puts it in. 5-point lead. And Denver going to go for the foul right now and make the Knicks hit free throws. So this one's going to be easy. If the Knicks hit the free throws, they'll snap the losing streak. If they miss them, Denver will have a chance.
Knicks are the best in the league percentage-wise from the line. So the pressure's on Williams now to can too. He's been very efficient tonight, Frank Williams, especially with his dishing.
Williams 2 for 2 from the line. Knicks have taken 23 free throws, so this will be 24 and 25, well above their season average. And Williams showing good poise as Kurt Thomas cheers on his teammates. Frank Williams, 5 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds, and only 1 turnover.
And he's played down the stretch because of his outstanding play. Normally, it would be Ward or Isley going down the stretch.
Even when Williams has played well earlier in the game and earlier in the 4th period, Don Chaney usually puts Ward or Isley in. Mutombo with the block shot. And the Knicks come the other way, and there's the foul on Chandler Anderson. Dikembe Mutombo with a big defensive play here down the stretch.
Defensive juggernaut tonight. Mutombo had a couple in a row along with McDyess at one time. And after that, the Nuggets were very tentative with their shooting. And Mutombo smacking that one away. After he'd been charged with a technical tonight, that seemed to ignite the 7-2 Mutombo.
Now getting back to the Frank Williams point, he's always come out as Anderson misses badly at the end of the 4th quarter, but Don Chaney's let him stay in there. He's played the entire 4th quarter for the first time, and he has responded for Chaney. 5 of his 7 assists here in the 4th.
Williams' problem has been consistency or lack of. Chaney says he can play. He wants to play him more, but he must be more consistent. So that was not a problem tonight for Frank Williams.
And the Nuggets call their final timeout with 27.8 seconds remaining. The Knicks now with an 8-point lead. And you see Mike Malone, Mike Saunders, and Isley and Ward up there off the bench greeting Frank Williams. Talked to him the other day in Los Angeles and asked him, what's the biggest difference for you this year? And he said, I just have confidence. I know I can do it on the floor if I get the opportunity.
Plus the summer league, he played in the summer league, which really helped his ball handling ability. So now he has a good knack of getting into the paint, breaking down the defense.
Again, he gets into the paint better than the other 2 point guards. Doesn't shoot it as well from the outside and doesn't defend as well. But that part of the game is coming. His defense was pretty strong here in the 4th quarter.
Plus, he's bigger than the other 2 guys, Ward and Isley. Frank bonafide 6'3", about 205.
Yeah, he has that extra strength.
Shows good hands on the defense, as we saw him strip Miller in one sequence.
He was the other player obtained in the Antonio McDyess trade.
So the Knicks get the first laugh in the trade. McDyess also distinguishing himself tonight along with Williams.
Visit the Madison Square Garden box office. Log on to nyknicks.com or call 800-4-NBA.
Antonio McDyess has had a very strong outing in his first start. 27.8 seconds remaining here in this 4th quarter. Knicks up by 8. They have a foul to give. He here is not allowing a quick 3-pointer. Good ball denial from Chandler Anderson. Leonard back to Anthony. Anthony for 3, puts it in just like that. 5-point game, 18.6 seconds remaining. Game's not over yet, and they foul Frank Williams right away. So the Knicks still have to hit some free throws as Miller picks up his 4th. So Frank Williams back to the line, where he's perfect 4 for 4.
Take a look at Carmelo. He's done it all tonight. Prime time player. So he had a couple of big baskets along the baseline, and this time from downtown.
He is our Oppenheimer Team Contributor Award winner tonight. Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest. The rookie from Syracuse continues his terrific season. Didn't shoot all that well, 9 of 24. Frank Williams hits another clutch free throw. Williams 5 for 5 from the line here in the 4th quarter. You just see his body language at the line, Clyde. Takes a deep breath before. That's confidence at the free throw line at crunch time. Knicks back up by 7. And those 2 free throws will just about do it. And the Knicks losing streak is going to come to an end. They come back home and get a nice come from behind victory. Dikembe Mutombo was a presence, and the 6-game losing streak is over. Knicks win tonight at the Garden as Antonio McDyess plays a season-high 31 minutes and responds with a season-high 15 points against his former team. Frank Williams, an excellent 4th quarter. He played all 12 minutes and had 5 of his 7 assists. Time for our play of the game. And Knicks did it on the defensive end. McDyess with the first rejection. Mutombo with the 2nd rejection. And the Knicks getting out of there. Then a 3rd one. This one from Mutombo. 2 from Mutombo, 1 from McDyess. That's the play of the game, brought to you by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. Knicks back on a winning track as they snap their losing streak with a 7-point win over the Nuggets. Come from behind here at the Garden.